Hello internet friends, it's Rad Edits, and today I'm going to be teaching you 2 advanced transitions on VideoStar, so let's get it poppin'. So I'm just going to open a file I already have, and you can see I've already worked on the transition here. So first things first is we're going to go to multi-layer, and you're going to click 1 and you're going to import a photo, a video, whatever. I already have my photos loaded, so I'm just going to import both photos. So now on number 2, we're going to go to edit keyframes. We're going to take the little circle thing and slide it all the way down at the end, and where it says path, you're going to press down on the little down arrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and import my curve because I like using it, it's smooth, but you can feel free to copy this down. So now we're going to take the little circle thing and slide it all the way down to the beginning, and then we're going to move the photo all the way to the left. Or not all the way to the left, leave like a little through, because if you go all the way then it'll just be like too fast and it'll look kind of choppy. And yeah, that should be the effect. So put on tracking blur and then turn it down just a little bit because you don't want it to be too much. And you can go ahead and press create. So basically we just created a simple slide transition, but only on 1 clip instead of 2. So now we're going to go to transform and go ahead and move to time slicer if you're not already on there. And basically just kind of copy down what I already have set, because time slice is like, I don't know, it's really annoying and kind of hard to figure out. So you can kind of play with it if you want, but this is what I already have set up is basically what you're going to want for this simple transition, you know? And then you can go ahead and press create and wait 10 years for it to load. And there you have it. That's pretty much it for this transition. Alright, so for this next transition, you're going to want 2 clips instead of just 1. And also, you're probably going to want it to be on the format of square, a 5x5, because it's going to be a lot easier than doing in any other format. To start off this transition, you're going to basically start with doing a basic just spin transition. We're going to go into multi-layer, press 1, and import your photo or video. Then go to edit keyframes, and you're basically gonna have it at 0 at the beginning, and then all the way at the end you're gonna turn it to either 0.9 or 10. I did 0.10, and then once again I'm importing my own smooth curves, but you can go ahead and copy them down or import your own or make your own or whatever you do. So now we're gonna leave the keyframes, and we're going to click on mirror, and we're going to choose the very last one, and then we're going to go to tracking blur. And once again, turn it down a little bit because you don't want it to be too much, and then press create. Now on the second clip, we're going to go to multi-layer, choose 1, choose your photo or video again, edit keyframes, and then at the very beginning, we're going to start to the left at 0.010. And then all the way at the end, we're going to put it back to 0. And then once again, I'm going to import my smooth curves. So once again, we're going to leave the keyframes, go to mirror, choose the very last one, and then go back to tracking blur and turn it down again. And we should be good to press create. Now we have a simple spin transition. So now we're going to create 2 patterns. So in the first clip, let's go to multi-layer, choose 1, and then choose a color, whatever color you're editing with, and then choose done. And then for 2, you're going to select another color. Alright, so now on number 2, we're going to press add mask, and then we're going to go to shape and choose the stripes, and then press done. Then you're going to go to mirror and choose the first one, click 2, edit keyframes, and bring down the size to like 35 or 36, I believe. So then it gives you more stripes. And then just press create and you're done. And now you're going to take a photo of this by pressing the little camera on the right. and then making sure it says always save to camera roll, and then done. And we're gonna go back into multi-layer. So for this one, I chose one and I chose color again. I did a different shade of red. And then basically in the second clip, I just basically, the person I'm editing is Diane. So I just copied and pasted her name over and over again because it's a very aesthetic, basic background. And so you can do that, or you can put the lyrics of the song, whichever song you're editing, and then just make sure it fits the entirety of the square, and then press create. We're once again going to take a photo by pressing on the camera on the right. Alright, so basically this next part is making a clockwipe, but making it like super dope, you know what I mean? So it might be hard to explain. Yeah, I don't know. My best advice, once again, is just like watch the video and see what I click on and all that fun stuff. So if you get confused, just like keep rewatching. Yep. Alright, so we're going to go into multi-layer, choose one, and click the spin transition that you did earlier. And then for number 2, click the stripe pattern or whatever your first pattern is. And then you're going to go ahead and choose the 2D disc. So you're going to want it set on the very top one, and then check the little box on the right. Alright, so now we're going to go into keyframes on the second layer. And then we're going to turn up the size to 137. Alright, so in the beginning, we're going to click on opacity so it changes to layout. And we're going to turn layout all the way down to 0. And then all the way at the end, we're going to turn it to about 50. And then I'm going to click on the curve, and I'm going to import, once again, my own curve. And once again, you're allowed to copy it down or import your own. So now we're going to click on 3, copy, and we're going to copy 2. And then press 2D disc, and once again, check the little box. So now we're going to click on 3, edit keyframes, options, copy keyframes from another layer, and then click 2. And then you're going to want to lower the size all the way at the beginning up to about like 135, so just 2 less from what it was before. And then you're going to move it to the left a little bit. We're going to click 2, go to color, find solid color, and then change it to black. So it gives a shadow, but we don't want too much of a shadow. So in the keyframes, we're going to click on layout so it turns to opacity, and turn down the opacity to 48. We're going to click on 4, and we're going to import our second pattern. We're going to go back into layout, press 2D disc, and once again check the little box again. And then go in the 4th keyframes, options, copy keyframes, and copy from 3. And once again we're going to move it to the left, but we're also going to bring down the size by quite a bit. So you're going to want to go to options, show other layers, and then click on all the layers so that they're visible. And then you can see, obviously, the other layers. And you're going to see how it's going to look in the actual edit. For the millionth time, you'll never guess what we're going to do. Yes, we're going to import the same layer. And we're going to copy it again. And we're going to go to 2D disc and check that fun little box again. Basically, you're doing the same thing over and over again. So copy the frames, blah, blah, blah. And this time, yeah, fucking whatever, guys. So you're just going to move it to the left a little bit, and the size is going to be 120 like it is in the 4th layer. So now in the 4th layer, we're going to create the shadow again. So go to color, find solid color, make it black, And then in the fourth keyframe, you're gonna turn the opacity down to 48. That's basically all for the first clip, so you can go ahead and adjust it or fix anything or look through it, whatever. But basically after this, yeah, you're done with the first clip. Alright guys, so now we're gonna new import photo, and then we're gonna import the patterns. So now we're gonna go into multi-layer, import the photo or video that we edited earlier. So for number 2, we're once again gonna do the stripes, and basically what we're doing is just what we did the first time in the first clip, but like reversing it. Yep, that makes sense. Anyway, we're gonna go to 2D disk, and once again we're gonna want it the checked box. I know what I'm saying, guys, don't worry about me. Except this time we're gonna go to 2, edit keyframes, and then this little like left and right thing tool right here, we're gonna switch it all the way to 50 or 0.50. And then once again, the size is going to be 137. So now we're going to click opacity so it goes to layout, and the layout should be at 50. And then all the way at the end, it's going to be at 0. And then I'm going to import my custom curves. So feel free to copy this down or whatever. I don't really care. Or I have a whole video on not keyframes, but curves, and I have some presets in there, so you can go ahead and snag some of those. But yeah, so now we're gonna go to 3, copy 2, and essentially just do what we did the first time, but we're gonna go 3, edit keyframes, options, copy keyframes from 2, and this time we're going to turn it down to 135 and move it just a little to the right. And I'm going to show the other layers so I can actually see what I'm doing. And that looks about good, so we're going to go back into 2, color, solid color, black, 2, edit keyframes, and then we're going to turn the opacity down to 48. And that looks pretty good, so we can move on. So for number 4, we're going to import the second pattern. And once again, doing the same thing like a million times. 2D disk, checked box, 4, edit keyframes, options, copy keyframes from 3, except now we're going to change the size to 120. And then we're going to move it like right there. Just like a little to the right. So now 5, copy 4, 2D disk, box, 5, edit keyframes, copy keyframes, 4, and then we're just going to move it to the right a little bit again. And then once again 4, we're going to make as the shadow, so we're going to go into color, solid color, black, turn down the opacity to 48. And I'm gonna move this back over a little bit because it was over too much. And yeah, that's all there is to it. It's hard to explain, so like I'm sorry if I sounded a little weird at times, but I don't know, it's hard to explain, especially for me. I'm more of a visual learner than like I don't learn by words, it's just not how I work. So yeah, I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you hated this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I love you, thank you, and bye!